long call, and whenever you have to switch off, you can. We'll continue with Maxim and uh, Nikita. Hi, Nikita. Your
Hello. Yes.
audio is on mute. Hi. How are you?
Very well. Very well. Thanks. Yep.
Good. Good. So I think anyone else joining, or we have a full quorum now? Maxim, anyone else is joining from your side?
I think that's
okay. So then we can start. Basically, this call is regarding the query which has come from IOCL after we submitted EOI, expression of interest. I had shared the query with all of you. It's a very brief sentence. I can read it out again just to set a context, and then we can discuss. The query is: bidder to clarify, provide documents clearly indicating that energy saving initiative given in EOI as a reference were done by its parent company, public subsidiary company. Okay, so this is a query which has come, and Maxim, as you communicated rightly, basically we need to, uh, you know, provide documents, more documents rather, I would say, than what we have already submitted to support our claim that we have done that work. We have claimed in the EOI. So we need to provide more documents. We need to debate on that. We can hear, view of my colleague, Mr. Lakshminarayan and Mr. Sudhir also, what they also think, and you can also give your view that what more documents we can give. So that is one part, Maxim, we need to discuss. And there is an alternate interpretation of this query, which is also possible in our view. And again, we can, this is subject to discussion, is that we are also required to, prove that the work which has been done, which we have claimed in EOI, has been done by our parent company, Indian company's parent company. It means we need to give them document that ANSELM is our parent company. It means ANSELM is holding, capital or share in our company in India. So these are the two angle of this query which we need to answer. And the last thing which I just want to say before we start discussion is there is a deadline to submit the answer, and the deadline is 27th of this month. We need to give reply. So we have a short time, and whatever documents we want to collate, we can collate. Of course, documents at the end of the day will have to be there in English. So whatever we give, either document in English or there will have to be a translation of the document in English. So this is the I would say broader agenda for the discussion in this group. And Lakshman, anything more you want to add in the agenda?
yeah. Did they specify which documents they need?
Yeah, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that, Nikita. I'm just saying that in terms of reading of this query, if anyone has any comment on the query, which is different than what I have mentioned, we can hear that, and then we can get into the discussion. What do we submit?
Good. That's it. I think the sound is not very clear. We couldn't hear what you said.
You
Which sound,
couldn't
Nikita?
you couldn't hear?
Which sound? Gopal is clear. I can't hear Maxim.
Yes, I think Gopal was clear, but your colleague, I couldn't hear what he said just now. But
Okay.
he
Oh, I see.
disconnected, so
Lakshmananji,
it's fine.
more clearer, Lakshmananji?
Yeah, now you are clear. Yes, your colleague who disconnected just now
I know.
was not
I
clear.
know.
Yeah, so
I know, Mr. KL.
yeah. Would you like me to translate or shall we?
Никита,
Да.
Максим, ты понял все, что он спросил? Там будет запрашивать документы, а второе подтверждение того, что их компания является дочерней от ANSELM, что они готовы выполнять то, что мы заявили. Да?
Да.
Нам нужно понять первое сроки, да, второе, нам нужно вообще понять, Никита, какой процесс дальше. Вот мы подали, сейчас мы докинем документы. Понятно ли процесс, когда у них закончится тендерный комитет? Вот это важно.
Это я просто не совсем понимаю, а какие документы еще. То есть этого у них не указано. Нам надо у них узнать, что за документы еще требуются. Я так понимаю, все, что у нас было, мы все отправили же, правильно? Okay. Yeah, so we've just started to discuss what kind of documents they need, and Maxime said we could prepare a letter from the vice presidents of Rosneft that confirms that we did the projects that we claim. Would that be a good document to support?
Yeah, so we will come to the document. I thought, Lakshmanji, you want to add anything, or we start on the document?
Yeah, I think we can start on the document. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just asking my colleague, Mr. KL.
Yeah, your colleague. I think
there are two parts of the query which you have clarified.
Okay.
Yeah, I just take 1 minute.
Please. Yeah, there are two parts of the query. One is documents required to establish energy saving initiatives have already been done. ANSELM. That is one part.
Could you repeat once again what was the first part?
Lakshmanji, your voice is not clear. I think your audio is gone in any case now. There is a connection issue. Lakshmanji.
With my end?
Hello?
Is it at my end?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Everybody can hear me now? Or?
Nikita, can you hear?
Am I audible?
Yes, I think what if Mr. KL tries to turn off the video? That might make the sound a bit more clear.
Yeah. You can switch off your video.
I did now.
Yeah. Yes.
I did.
My video.
Yes, better.
Yeah, one part is energy saving initiatives, what we have done during the last
3 years,
where we have shown and delivered the result, has to be in a clear, documented way from the customer. If we have implemented X installation, the installations has to give us the declaration, yes, we have achieved. That is the proof what they are looking into. That is one part of the query. And since the last part of the query says that it is done by its subsidiary or
partner. Am I right?
Yeah.
Subsidiary
or partner. That means what Indian partner is Vignesh, which has participated in the bid. That is how they are saying. So we have to see what is the relationship between the parent company and subsidiary. Both come together. The more I see at it, it looks like that. So we need to also discuss and come to a conclusion, at least if not submitting documents on the later part, that is parent company subsidiary relationship, at least we need to be prepared, like how do we move forward. That's all. Thank you.
Right.
Okay. Значит, требуется, он сказал, за последние 3 года документы от клиентов, которые с деталями того, что было сделано, то есть это как подтверждение, соответственно, для них того, что мы сделали, то есть именно что было имплементировано, описание проектов. Вторая часть – это мы должны обсудить взаимоотношения компании Vignesh и ANSELM, то есть имеется в виду, что должно быть так, что дочерняя компания – это Vignesh, то есть ANSELM должна быть как компания. Я так понял, документы для этого не требуются. Он сказал, мы должны это просто обсудить сейчас и все. Окей.
Максим, да, Максим, мы можем, по идее, надо узнать, что им нужно, мы можем любой документ подготовить, и в этом проверить. Кем оно подписано. Эти печати делаются на раз. Ну, главное понять, что им нужно, чтобы мы прошли формальный тест. По минимуму, да, чтобы.
So in terms of the supporting documents, the clients we've worked with, what would be the minimal required amount of information that we have to provide? Because they don't provide detailed reports of the projects they've done. We can do a letter from the clients, but what would be the minimal required amount of information that we need?
Okay, so the way we are thinking, instead of giving minimum document, we can decide what all we can give, so that once for all, we answer this query. So we can be little liberal in terms of providing document if we can, or whatever we can. Now, what type of document? I think if you have seen the EOI document, right there, scope of work was defined. Certain scope of work that given what are they expecting from consultant to do, right? And in terms of deliverable also, it was given in that. So point number 3 of that EOI document and point number 5 of the EOI document, becomes the basis, and point number 6 where pre-qualification criteria is given. I think these are the 3 point, Maxim, if you can look at, maybe not now, even later you can look at that. I think this will give us a context that what type of document we need to give, because the type of work we are expecting, if we have carried out similar work and if we are able to give documentary evidence of that, that is going to be useful, because we have already given a certificate or reference letter from some of your clients. I think that was part of EOI. In spite of that, I think query has come that give documents clearly indicating that energy saving initiative given in EOI as a reference were done by parent company. So I think they are asking, in my view, or in our view, more than what we have already given. Okay, so now what will satisfy them? I think two things which can be thought about. Okay, one is, if you have given a detailed report, right, of your work done at maybe two of the refineries, which matches the scope of work given here. If we can give a redacted version, you don't need to give name of the refinery where you work. You can hide that. But if we can share the part of the report, even not fully, wherein what was the scope, what work has been done, what result has been achieved. If these things we can highlight in the two of your report, and if you submit that as a document, I think that could be more relevant, because if you see the scope, consultant scope of work, I think the report would cover all the points because you work from start to end. You basically find out the gaps and the potential area to saving, and then you deliver saving also. I think this complete scope will be written in your report. And second is, deliverable. If you are able to quantify in form of a table which is given in point number 5 in the COI document, if you can try to create that type of table, I think, and then that will get supported with those report. I think that will be really helpful. And the point number 6, which is pre-qualification criteria, is talking about proof of in at least two refineries in the field of energy saving with minimum realized benefit of 10,000 MTOE per year per refinery. I think if you are able to cover this also or highlight of a result which you might have achieved in your report, I think this could be. So this is how we are thinking. Now, you can tell us what is possible, not possible, and this document has to be in English.
Мгм. Окей.
Agree.
Зна- Да, получается так,
Just a
что
minute.
лучше
Just a minute,
понять
Nikki.
не по минимуму, а по
Yeah.
We
вот,
can give
им требуется
Very raised.
по крайней мере, для двух заводов требуется предоставить по пунктам 3, 5, 6, которые вот как раз в этой форме, которую мы отправляли, там данные, на которые они смотрят. Например, там в пункте 6 надо показать, что мы достигли сохранения энергии минимум в 10 тысяч единиц, которые там указаны у них. То есть требуется хотя бы, он сказал, 2 кейса, которые более детально, если мы не можем указывать все данные, мы можем там не указывать именно название этого завода или что-то, но им нужны, я так понимаю, цифры более конкретные, то есть что было сделано и сколько было сохранено. Я так понимаю, клиентам я сейчас узнаю. So the documents that you said with the numbers, the more specific details, they have to be signed by us or by the client?
No, so document, first of all, are we on the same page in terms of the document, what document to be given, right? If we are, agreeing that you will be able to share the report given to at least two of your client, may or may not be detailed report, either it could be summary or it could be redacted version of the report. Are we agreeing on that we can give that? We can hide the confidential part.
Yeah, we could try to prepare two reports that are more detailed, but we need to understand, do they have to be signed by the client as well?
No, so what we can do is, if the report you would have submitted, right, and you must have received some confirmation from the client, so that confirmation would be in writing, right? So report can be from ANSELM side. I think it will be from ANSELM side only, and if there can be any letter acknowledging that report by the client, that could be the proof that this is the report which was submitted. And you already have given the reference letter from the client. So I think we can again repeat that letter. I think this could complete the chain. One is the report which will give a clear idea that what was the work, how it was done, what is the result. And then there is an acknowledgement from the client. And we have already given a reference letter from the client that this work was done. So I think if we are able to give this way the proof, I think this can be complete the chain.
Okay, so this is, we need this for 2 refineries, right?
Yeah, at least 2 relevant, I would say report where you would have done the similar work, which is given in the scope of work in this EOI, expression of interest, right?
Okay.
2 places at least, if you have those report, I think we are just thinking could be enough, in terms of proving that we have done the work.
Окей. Окей. В общем, что получается, он сказал, мы можем предоставить 2 репорта, как бы, которые мы сами составили на основании своих замеров, но тогда потребуется еще какое-то подтверждение от, соответственно, завода, что как бы, да, ну, мы подтверждаем там или что-то вот такое. То есть вот это вот так вот, в таком формате этого достаточно будет. Да, это должно быть все на английском. Do we have to prepare all the reports, the documents until you said the 27th?
Yes, we have to submit on 27. So maybe, you need to give it in maybe next 2 days or so that we can see and, load that in their system. So, in terms of preparation, I think your report would already be there, right? It is more of like redacting and trying to give us an English version. I think that is a type of work which you don't need to prepare. Your report may already be ready.
Yeah, no, but we'll have to still translate, compile, find the appropriate one. So
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we have to do by the 27th. Они говорят, до 27-го надо им это сделать. Так, okay, so regarding the second part of the query, how do you propose we should answer their request regarding the relationship between Vignesh and ANSELM?
Yes. So I'll come to that. Before that, I just wanted to, conclude on the first point which we were discussing. One is we are talking about 2 reports. In second point which I mentioned, I don't know whether that was registered, is there is a point number 5 and point number 6 in the EOI document. Okay. The document 5 number point talks about deliverable, and it gives a table below which design proof and where work was done, or work is to be done, and then MBN, present MBN is given, and then the target MBN target for the study that is given. So what we are saying is, if you could provide similar type of a table for the refinery which we are providing the report, then what was the MBN when you started and what was the end result when you concluded the report. If we can provide, this could be more relevant for them to understand that yes, they have done a similar work where when they started, the refining capacity of course is this, MBN was this, and then with your work, what has been the MBN which has been achieved. So if this table can be given, that is one way of presenting ourselves, and it can be on the letterhead of ANSELM, and you can relate it with the report. And second way of explaining is if you have calculated what was the minimum realized benefit of in terms of MTOE. Okay, they are expecting 10,000 MTOE per year per refinery is what they're expecting from this study. So if you already done and if you can quantify, I think that information could also be relevant for them to feel comfortable that we have done the work. I'm not sure. So, Deji, you want to explain this in a more technical way?
So, hold on. So you said that the report has to contain everything detailed in deliverables part, right? Of EOI.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about report would cover whatever is there. I'm saying even a separate page, separate table can be made by way of a certificate on ANSELM letterhead saying that in this refinery, this was the capacity, this was the MBN when we started, and this is the MBN when we concluded. On our letterhead, ANSELM letterhead, even this could be enough. Or we say that in our study, we have achieved, this type of a minimum realized benefit of this much MTOE per year per refinery. I'm saying if we can quantify and put even in the letterhead of ANSELM, this could be additional document. I'm not saying this, or we can highlight that in the report. If it is there, we can try to highlight that in our letter. Please see this particular para and all those things. I'm saying highlighting this or quantifying benefit which have covered, I think could be, more, I would say, proper, and it would give us a better result in terms of our presentation.
Yeah, so you're saying MTOE per year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the, if you can quantify your benefit which you give deliver to them in terms of this MTOE or MBN or something.
Okay, and do we need to also, I'm reading the EOI now, it says, do we need to specify everything they talk about, the methodology adopted, objective and basis of study? We don't need that, right?
No, that will come in the reports, right? In the report which we are giving copy, at least we can hide the confidential part, we can hide the name of the refinery, but we can say this was the scope, this is the approach which was done, and this is the result which was delivered.
Yeah, so it still needs to have all of these points. Yeah, I see. Okay. Значит, что в документе EOI в пятом пункте deliverable там описано, что должно быть в репорте, по сути. Там таблица и, соответственно, указано завод, сколько баррелей там он производит, сколько было достигнуто и так далее. Вот. И он сказал, требуется обязательно указать в репорте еще в юнитах MTOE или MBN, сколько мы смогли им сохранить, поскольку здесь критерий 10 тысяч минимальный. То есть в репорте должна быть эта информация. То есть, по сути, пятый пункт, там описано все, что должно быть в репорте. Да, он пока еще пока ничего не говорил об этом, он просто уточнил опять по документам. То есть здесь нам все понятно, правильно? Okay, so this part is clear. Let's discuss the second part about the theory. Yeah.
Okay, Nikita, just I want to check with my colleague if they want to say anything on the first part. Sudhirji and
yeah. It is. I think everything is told. They understood.
Okay.
I think that is
okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we come to the second part, Nikita. Second part is about approving parent and subsidiary relationship.
I'll exit.
ANSELM, sorry.
I'll exit. I think what has been discussed is right. I think that meets the part. Second part is what you can talk. No problem. Okay. I'll exit.
Okay, so just to Maxim and Alex, Mr. Lakshminaran has a flight to catch, so he's just exiting from this call. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye all. Thanks, Lakshminaran. Thanks for making your presence here. Yeah. Okay. So second part which we are talking about, Nikita and Maxim, is we need to be having a relationship of parent and subsidiary. So what important thing is that in the Vignesh, which is an Indian company, you become a shareholder. Okay. The LLP, so we issue capital for a particular percentage, right? So what we will do is we will have to you know, inform IOCL now that we are in the process of issuing, this much percentage of capital to ANSELM. We had already given a letter, and I'll see what more needs to be written in the letter. But we'll have to say that you are basically taking 49% or 50% or 51%. I'll have to talk to these people, IOCL people, and decide whether 49 is okay, 50 is okay, 51 is okay. Whatever is required for this tender, we will give you ownership in an Indian company. Now, for that you need to remit that small amount which we discussed, around $2,000. I'll tell you exactly, or $2,000 equivalent ruble in Indian company account you will have to remit. So what we will do is, once I'll crystallize the thought process with the IOCL people or with our legal people here, I will send a message to you, Maxim, then and my bank detail, so you can remit that money in a day or two. So in our letter, we will write that we are in the process of completing the formalities to make ANSELM as a parent company. Okay, and for that, the necessary remittance for capital has come. So something like that, we will try to present. So there, the documentation part, I will provide the draft which can come on your letterhead, and you will have to remit the money. So that money would be in the range of around $2,000 only, uh, because in the company we don't have anything else than the capital which I have contributed. So I'll try to see that you match that capital. So remittance has to be done, and the later part I will make and give it to you, and we will submit along with all other document on board.
Okay, so you will prepare all the documents, is that right?
Yes. I will prepare the document. You will have to remit the money in the bank account which I will give you.
Yeah. Do we have to do that also by the 27th, or we can do later?
I'm not sure actually. So I feel we could do later, but just not to go wrong. Just not to go wrong.
For the documents, we can definitely try to sign by the 27th, but with the
Yes.
transfer, I don't know how long it will take.
Yes. So at least remittance part can be, done before 27. In our letter, we can say that we are in the process of completing the documentation. If it necessary capital has already been contributed, that, that we will say, so that will give them a confidence. Uh, I think this is what I'm thinking. And as far as later is concerned, draft I will make and get it from you people on the instant letterhead. So that's what is required more. And later on, of course, later on, Alex, uh, uh, in the company document, the constitution of that Indian company, we will write whatever is required to be written in ANSELM and Indian partner, so that our relationship is properly established. If required, we'll also have a separate collaboration agreement defining our roles, and responsibilities, and authority, and all that we can do subsequently. We don't need to submit it at this stage. That's what I'm thinking.
Окей. Ну, в общем, что им требуется теперь подтверждение, что что Вигнеш является дочерней компанией. До этого он сказал, что они подготовят письмо о том, что мы в процессе передачи от 49 до 51% он уточнит акций, и за это им надо перечислить $2000. Вот. То есть я так понимаю, я спросил, это до 27-го требуется или нет. Он сказал, что письма они могут подготовить до 27-го, а по трансферу там, не обязательно, поскольку неизвестно, сколько это займет. Но я так понимаю, сейчас им требуется уже документальное подтверждение, что ANSELM, что мы владеем, условно говоря, компанией Вигнеш. Являемся, что это дочерняя компания, соответственно, Росэнергопроекта. Ну да. Я, насколько понял, это у них является требованием, да, чтобы мы владели их компанией.
Ну, они говорили об этом до того, как мы подавали, что
Ну да.
это их требование. Я думаю, что документы, Максим, надо сделать 2 письма, отпишешь ты и подпишем рядом, причет поставим представитель компании. Объяснить, что удовлетворили, чтобы больше не было подтверждения. Официально твой будет план, ну, подпишем еще и вторую компанию.
Yeah. So I think the second part is comparatively simple. Only remittance has to be done, and a draft of letter I will give. So that will complete the second part, and then we will submit this thing. And as I said, we'll also make a letter on a formal document between ANSELM and Vignesh, which will clearly define our relationship so that we all are clear. This new structure which is required to be done for this tender is being done and done in a way where everybody understand that what does it mean. Basically, ideally, I would have liked that ANSELM directly participate in the tender and complete it, but because of this requirement here, we are having to make this relationship. So we'll make a proper document which will clearly I would say outline the I would say rights and obligation and ownership of your patent and everything. So there's no confusion at any stage. Okay. Yeah. So we are about to end this call. If you want, we can reconnect. So do we need to reconnect or we are done on this?
Ну, мы все обсудили, правильно же, да? Или что? Yeah, I think we are done.
Okay, great. So I would request for your action at the earliest in terms of sending the document. And please note that English translation would be important. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
With a stamp of ANSELM at least on the translated document. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
you.
Nikita, Sudhirji, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.
Let's really look